All right, guys. Let's talk about just simple things on the game. When we this is right off tip. All right. So, court awareness, Brooklyn. If you're open in space right here, why would you keep running? Why wouldn't you just like seal that guy and score a layup? Look where you go. Like you're open, you kind of want the ball, but kind of don't. But you keep skipping away from it. And Jaden, I think that's more on you than Jaden, because how does he know you don't want the ball? So like you gotta like understand where you are in space, and you didn't do a good job of that. All right, so when guys are pressing, this is why we got to get it up because Caleb's a guard. He's guarding Brooklyn. All right, and he probably should be on Grant, so that's why we want to get the ball up quick. At this point, Cade is still guarding Brooklyn. The ball goes up, split stance by Grant, immediate attack. That's really good. You just got to finish this, Grant. Remember the rules, right? So first of all, they're in a 1-2-2. Nobody identified that, so they went into a diamond press, right, which looks like a 1-2-2, but it's full court, and then they got in a half court 1-2-2. Nobody on green identified it. So what were they doing? They were trapping corners, and y'all didn't realize that they weren't in man. All right, so once you know that, that tells you how to attack. So mine does a good job of getting it out. Remember the rules, Jaden. After a trap, so this is what a trap is: two trappers, two interceptors. That's Ethan, and it should be Jacob. Jacob's completely out of position, and then one opposite. So then it should be pass, pass, and then Brooklyn will be wide open, and then you have I think Caleb right here on the other end, and you try to sneak it in there, and it doesn't get through all that. So we got to make sure we can read that. Again, y'all just didn't do a good job of identifying. So now the ball goes corner. Here comes the trap. All right. So so now a trap is, which a good trap is two trapping the ball, two interceptors. Jacob's taking away the easy pass. Grant is taking away this easy pass. Isaac's rover. All right. Amon does a good job of skipping it. All right. And now you got to catch this ball cleaner, Caleb, so you can attack. But anyway, he's closing out. When you go by him and make this guy guard, Jacob, throw it on a line and he'll be in better rhythm for his shot. So you don't have to get too deep and throw this looper. But nonetheless, good play. All right, you just got to bounce into your shot and be ready for it. I didn't think you did a great job of bouncing into your shot. But because of all the movement and the trapping, guess what? Easy rebounds. That's what happens when people are going to trap. You compromise rebounding. So good taking advantage there. Throughout the game, Red did a good job of really affecting Green's ability to pressure the ball because of constant player movement. Like, just watch. There was constant possession like this. Drive, make two guard, kick, drive, kick. Right, we look, we got a down screen by Braylon, so Ethan can have an easy catch. We throw it. Okay, now that we don't got nothing, let's call for a pick and roll. Let's be patient. Now, I do want this though, Jacob, is you come out behind the back isn't going to allow you to attack off of a pick and roll. Not if you're doing it like that. But you want the backside to continue to move, so you want to come off of it. If you rejected attack, but look, you kind of come off and then you go back to the right side. So you didn't really make a lot of player movement happen. So a lot of times you want to throw it opposite. But drive, make two guard, kick, his momentum's against him. That's a great possession. All right, so that's good. And I just didn't think Green made Red work as quite as hard as they did y'all. Hey Jaden, this is a good play, and you're a good playmaking guard. You make the right plays a lot of times, but knowing what pass to make when. So when you're here, I like the way you're looking off, but this with him in the lane is a bounce pass, and the only thing he could do is kick it, and that's a violation. But what do? You throw it where hands are, and that's a deflection. All right, so everything can't be a chest pass. You throw a bounce pass that gets to a mom with plenty of space, and he gets the. I like this from Jaden, but also y'all haven't identified what they're in. This is a 1-2-2. No, y'all never really noticed that they were in a zone, or otherwise I think you would have gotten a domino set at least. Maybe put a guy middle, right? Because that's what hurts a 1-2-2, middle and corners. All right, so that hadn't been identified, but not very much player movement, right? They play defense, get it, immediate shot. And here's the thing, mine can obviously hit that shot, but there's no player movement. Red don't get tired. All right, so this is a break. We don't finish, but this is a great push, and this is a great job by Jaden. He gets in the middle of the paint. He waits to see where everybody is. If Ethan stays there, he's throwing it there. If since he goes where he goes, he throws it to mine. And in transition, that's a great shot. So just noticing the difference in and when you're trying to take these shots. player movement is really big, unless obviously you're on a break and you've created an advantage. Well, let's watch this possession. I want to watch how many cuts Red does. Every time you cut, you put guys out of position. It's really tough to see man and ball. So right now, Jaden is here. They're about to do a back screen, right? Pin down action. Grant sees that Jaden's going over. What does he do? Backdoor cut. Boom. All right, so now he's not open. Braylon has his head up. So now Isaac sees the back of Jaden's head. What does he do? Backdoor cut. All right, so now Grant is here. Jaden should be coming to help. And if he does, Isaac would hit him. So Isaac should be scoring this thing since Jaden never comes to help because of the player movement. All right, and so you should score that, Isaac. But here comes Jacob, who should have cut a second early, and here comes Ethan, both slashing and cutting. All right, so y'all didn't score right here because of the turnover, but I do want y'all to realize all the pressure that they're putting on Green every time they play defense, which is why eventually Green stopped applying as much ball pressure. All right, and look, it always goes back to the fundamentals of basketball: passing and catching and footwork. All right, so right here, easy possession, Jaden. Just throw it to him right now. If we get it to Caleb, it's a wide open layup. But passing on the move is something that was a struggle yesterday or on Sunday. Couple simple things. All right. So Braylon, maybe you could get it to him, but why do that? So like when you could get a guy to run up and catch an easy pass. So that's number one, like spacer support. Grant wasn't sure, but let me give him support anyway. It's only smart. All right. So these are all things that people could force and throw in the turnovers. All right. So anyway, look at the player movement. Braylon cuts. Here comes another cut by Ethan. Now let's not devalue like what Isaac is doing. Isaac drove to see what he can get. Most kids pick up their dribble or panic. All right, so he keeps his dribble alive, keep it alive. All right, some people might say he's dribbling too much. I say he's protecting the ball. All right, so there's some more cuts. There's Jacob. Grant cuts again. It's just a lot of pressure. So now guys aren't ready to help. And now we're in the paint getting fouled. All right, because guys are out of rebound or defensive help position. All right, so hey Brooklyn, I like this. Good rebound, Caleb. All right, I want you in the open court to be able to take one or two dribbles, right, and then get off the ball. And then as you get stronger and better at ball handling, we have 3 and 4. But right now you're a one or two dribbler, and you do that. Boom, move the ball, cut the space. All right, so that's good. All right, they get their trap. Jaden does a good job of getting you the ball, but now you're seeing ghosts. Nobody's there. Go to the rim and score, and you kind of fade away. You do more of a fade than you do going at the basket. All right. Now, I like this. Grant, you've grown at this. Attack, see what you can get. Nothing's there, pull it out. That's excellent. All right, good ball pressure of mine. Like I'm loving the defense intensity from everybody. All right, and then look, he kind. I think Jacob, he made you shoot a shot that you didn't necessarily want to shoot. Like that's the first bad shot I could say as a whole that Red takes. And of course, Green's going to get the rebound just because of the lack of player movement. So I want to show y'all the power of cutting and what it does, right? So Red has the ball. Now Grant's cutting right here, and Jaden should be over here guarding Braylon, but he don't want this pass to come in to Grant. So Grant holds him for another second, and now Braylon's wide open. Now Jaden's trying to get back, but it's just too late, right? He's contesting. He's literally right here, but it's too late. The cut, made everything happen. So I just want y'all to know why he got that wide open shot. All right, there goes Jaden to the line. Way to get the ball up the court, Green. We just threw it up the court. Jackie, if you just kind of pause and wait right here, Grant is going to pop open right behind the block because Jaden has to guard you or you'll have a shot. All right. And if you just wait for Grant to finish his cut, you can throw a bounce pass right there. Look what this cut does to Jacob. Jacob has to come. He has to take a step and help for a moment. So now Cade's kind of open. Jackie's kind of panicking, so she's already dribbling out. But that's the bounce pass I was talking about. Just occupy Jade and throw that bounce pass. Anyway, let's look at get the ball. Here's more cuts. Cade cuts. And there's the delivery for the pass. Like, if you could get shots 2 to 4 feet from the basket consistently due to cuts, he misses, but it's about the quality of shots, and then the makes will take care of themselves eventually. So this is another good play by Jaden. I'm starting to realize he played a very good, quiet game. So we got guys starting to cut for Green. right? So here's Jacob. He sees Braylon's not looking at him. He cuts, and as soon as he does, boom, the ball's delivered. All right, and then you're wide open. We just got to make shots. So Jaden's delivering. We just got to get makes. We got to talk better. All right, so look, watch this. As the ball goes or is about to come in, Grant already has him, Cade, and you can see that, right? If you're focused. All right, and then you would know you'd have to guard Noel. All right, so that's why Grant's pointing like, hey, go guard him, right? And you're still walking towards this guy as if you didn't see Grant guard him. So you gotta have much quicker recognition. All right, Jackie recognizes that Noel's open. So what could have happened if Amon notices that Noel's right there, he should have spaced out so his man couldn't help and it'd be a wide open layup. But all this is court awareness, right? You see that nobody's guarding Noel, you back up to the 3-point line, bring Jackie with you, wide open cut. So now Grant sees it, so Grant's trying to hustle back over there. And Jacob, all you got to do is throw it to his right side, right hand. But you throw it and it basically hits Jack in the back of the head. All right, so a better pass. So now let's look at the rest of the passing. Amon comes up with it. Some passes need to be bounce passes so they can't steal it. But look, deflection. All right. Then we get another pass right from, our shoulder. Should have been a deflection or a steal. And if he steals that, it's a layup, right? It's off to the races. Split stance by Jaden. This is the first good pass in that possession. It comes from up top above his head. Nobody else can get to it, and it's on a line right to his chest. All right. So again, Jaden with a quiet, good game. Now this is what we got to notice. Brooklyn, Amon. Y'all are the two guys that could check break. We got a shooter here, we got a corner guy here, and we got the driver. So y'all got to know when you can crash and when you can't. So Jacob blocks out, but Cade doesn't. And guess who gets the rebound? Cade's man. All right, so we got to do better with that. Now, Brooklyn, you got to pump fake and go back up with that. All right, get fouled, go to the line. But I will say this, if you can't shoot, the best time to shoot a three is after an offensive rebound. Everybody's going to be outside. Jacob gets another look. So Green's just missing shots at this point. But that is the best time to shoot a three is after an offensive rebound. Possession to be proud of on both sides. All right. I like that training is coming into place, and I like energy and effort is coming into place. So even if you didn't know better, you at least got to give me effort. And I think both red and green did this. All right. So we set our screen. We pop up open. Up there, this would be a trap, but Grant separates, so he'll have an opportunity to throw to him, and he retreats out of it, right? So now Noel goes away. All right, so then we got to hurry up in space. Grant got to stay behind the ball. This is normally a big-time trap. If Grant takes off, that's where turnovers happen, but Grant makes an easy pass. Isaac, watch what he does. As soon as Grant dribbles up, he runs behind the ball. All right, so now Green has played excellent defense at this point, but they're so spaced out, it's tough to keep giving this effort continuously. But they do. So good, the ball's moving. Another trap right here. We get the ball out. We got our pass rule. All right, Noel has to choose. He can't guard both. So that ball swings over there, pass, wide open shot. All right, Brooklyn's too far. Now, let's look at this. Red don't celebrate. Y'all get the ball in quick. But transition passing, making a good pass on the move is a skill. And it goes out of bounds. So y'all could have scored right back down their backs. So here we go. Still good defense. I like this, Noel. Arm extended out. At least you got to count. Galen looks to attack, right? Makes another guy. Oh, he just ran out of space. But look, Grant, good curl here. But keep going. You're passing off of a timing, like, hey, when I drive, I should get 2 dribbles and a kick. Nobody stops you, right? And right now, Cade is kind of in line because he's floating with the defender. So you want to get a little bit deeper because, one, nobody has stopped ball. That could be a good little pull-up for you. And once Jacob commits, then you could throw this pass. So I think you get off of it a little too early when you could have drove and still been a little bit more aggressive. So Jaden misses the tip in. I like this rebound. It just makes you look different when you grab a rebound this aggressively. Watch how Jacob grabs this rebound. There's just a toughness thing about it. Like, it's mine and nobody else is getting it. All right. But here's the other thing. So when you can throw a ball on a line like that and it gets all the way down, the ball's going to move faster than the players do. So good pass up the court. But now you got guys' momentum sprinting at Grant and he takes advantage of it. Boom. Slithers through. Finished. All right, that's awesome right there. A little small nugget to take recognition to. Like, be smart enough to get out of position to do things. So, boom, he goes behind the back. Watch Jacob. Sprints, and make sure he cuts him off. So let's make him make one more play. Now, Galen, you got to have your knees bent because this is going to be that he's going to jump and throw a soft pass. You should be running through that, in my opinion. Grant takes away the release guy so you could come up because there's nobody to guard down here. Cade's down there. And then I thought you should have ran through that pass and had a steal, but you're playing too passive defensively. All right, and then in mind, you got to learn to keep that ball as you go through there. All right, you got to be stronger with that. Hey, good ball fake right there, Cade. That's part of ball manipulation that we've talked about in the past. All right, and there's a charge. This is the reason I don't like 2-foot, 3-foot passes, Jacob. Because one guy can guard two and still recover. So as you're dribbling at Grant. I'd rather you create separation and make them choose. Are you going to come and trap me and then throw it to Grant? But you can't give them both options. I'm going to trap you and I'm going to go for the steal. All right, so that's the problem with 2-foot passes. They're just too short. All right, so clean that up. Jacob, when you pick this up, I feel like you're getting sped up. I don't know if this is exactly what you want. What's wrong with dribbling with your left hand into his body and putting him in jail and slowing your momentum down and getting whatever you want? All right, so you just kind of hurry and spin, shot. You know, it's a shot you can make, but you don't look like you're in complete control. So I really like this move, Noel. You bring it down. You see space on this side, so you give him a quick jab and then attack. That's good. Slide off of him off the glass. That's good. All right, Galen, I like you keeping the ball longer like we had talked about, right? Instead of just always passing it. But this is a zone press, so you got to recognize that. You should have threw this right back to Isaac because he's wide open right here. All right, and then you try to dribble out of it, and that's when you get in trouble. Now, Jacob, as soon as you see him pick up this ball, you got to cut to space right here. You can't expect him to throw that ball all the way across the court and get it to you. All right, so or somebody has to cut to space quicker. All right. Now, I know this feels like a great pass, but that's way too much power for a pass that close. So a lot of your passes got to be, it's not where you throw it, it's usually like how soft you can get it to them. So boom, that comes at them real hard. All right, so just notice you got to take a little something off of that. All right, so Grant just scores. Jaden, I like this. You get it here. Jabari, if he was your coach, he'd be really happy because we've been working on this move a lot. You just find and hop to space, and then you just kind of fade off. That's nice, easy, simple shot. Now, Isaac, don't just throw it in. Keep both feet in when you throw it in bounds. But you should take a screenshot, Jacob, and know Jaden's right here. All right, a little bit more. Again, that's where court awareness comes in. All right, so your left foot should step in front of him, and he runs right into your back for a foul. Right? Or you take a screenshot and meet the ball. But now you do a good job of putting him in jail, right? So now that he's in jail, somebody has to come and help. And that somebody ends up being Jacob. If it's yeah, it ends up being Jacob. So now, wide open shot for Cade. He doesn't take it. Cade, what's stopping you from scoring this layup is what I want to know. So you kick it out when you had a layup. You got to read the court better. You're playing a pass. So now Jacob does get a wide open shot, but I want layups. All right, so let's make sure we can grow in that. Another small thing to look at that matters. All right, so look at Jaden's feet. This Jaden, he can't move because his legs are standing straight up, and he should have knees bent so he can react to a not perfect pass. But since you're not standing straight up, look, the ball just sails out of bounds. So like I said, you can't just have your knees straight up. Y'all got to be in a bent position so you can react to bad plays and bad passes. Look, simple fundamental skills to get you by people. So the ball gets thrown ahead to Grant. Grant pump fakes. It's not even a great one, but even if you don't get the defender to jump, he got Jaden a lift, and that's enough to get clean by him for a layup. All right, so now Green, this is lacking a lot of the fundamentals. So we catch the ball. Caleb's streaking. You could hit him now, right? And then he'll catch the ball above 1, 2, 3 Maroons. All right, but this is where we make a mistake. Dribble, and you didn't go anywhere, and then you pick it up. So now there's nowhere to go. Jacob is supposed to be behind the ball because if he picked up his dribble, does he need space or support? He needs support. You should stay behind the ball. So here comes the trap. Jacob gets in line with the passer. These two guys are in the same spot. Nobody's middle. So Cade doesn't have to choose, do I cover middle or do I take this away? He could just take this away because both of y'all are way over here. All right, now, like, these are really big deals. Like, when most people train, they only train to get stats. and they don't train on the plays they need to do to accumulate stats. So if nobody gets middle and you don't get behind the ball and we turn it over, nobody gets to take a shot on the other end for us to accumulate stats down here. So what happens is the only stat we accumulate is a turnover. So let's just rewatch this play all over. Boom, dribble. Noel and Jaden are here. Nobody's middle. Ball goes over the head. Nobody accumulates stats. So all that through the legs, behind the back stuff don't even matter because we can't get it up court because we don't understand spacing and where people should be. This is good for red. They just continue to put so much pressure on the green team. So here's a hard cut, right? So there's Galen cutting through. All right, Jackie gets the ball. She tries to attack the space. She reverses out. Noel's not paying attention. He's only looking at ball. Isaac cuts. She hits him. And then here we go. Who is that? Brooklyn was turned around. If Ethan just goes up with his left hand, which he refuses to do, he'd have a layup. But then it gets blocked. But it's great to do all this movement stuff and to get a guy with the ball 1 foot in front of the basket. All right. Green is getting a cut, I think, and Caleb did cut pretty well for this game, but he is the only one cutting. Everybody else is relying on talent and one-on-one talent for the most part. All right, so know what to do when you don't have the ball. I always tell guys, there's 5 players on the team, on the court, and there's 1 ball. When you don't have it, you got to know what to do. So right now, like Amon's watching, Backside's watching, guys are just watching. The only person who cuts is Caleb. So he's open now, Brooklyn, but it takes you so long to hit him. Now this is still a Caleb problem because he's behind the goal. Once you realize that, you land with balance, just reverse out. But look what you try to do. All right, so you got to get to the point where you can balance yourself and then find a way to get a good shot or a better one. All right, I like this, Isaac. You kind of unpredictable, like you dribble side to side, skip, and then burst. Right, you get an attack. Now, let's look at the value of paint touches. So Brooklyn comes out and helps. Then Galen gets it, attacks immediately. Now, Jacob is chasing Ethan. But guess what he has to do because we go for a paint touch? He has to stop, right, to make sure Ethan can't get a layup. Well, Caleb actually helps. But nonetheless, Jacob still stops. So since Caleb left, Jackie's wide open, all because Galen's in the paint. All right, the pass should probably be a little bit quicker. Jackie has a wide open shot. She doesn't take it when Noel comes. And the pass probably should have been up here once Noel came to help. If the help comes from here, throw it where he came from. All right. But, again, y'all are getting a lot of the stuff that you want because the paint touches are valued and the ball and player movement. Reminder, Jacob. All passes, they can't come from your chest. Look where this pass comes from. So, of course, what's going to happen? Deflection. All right. We have to learn to have multiple passing angles. Again, that's something that is practiced and drilled. I can't say that stuff enough. I think y'all think it just, oh, he said it. No, it's not a part of your game till you drill it. All right, so now Ethan leaves, right, which means Brooklyn's going to dive, right? Because if your guy comes and helps, you're the next dive person. But Brooklyn, you got to catch this. This is right to you. You can't fumble those passes because now we don't get any shot, all right? So we got to work on that hand-eye coordination. Good play here by Jackie. Since Amon's never quite in front of her, this is good. Gear change, make them freeze. Gear change again, and then go. All right, so that's a really good finish. All right, way to use some training right there. That was nice. Down. Isaac's never going to be steady. He's never going to speed up. He's just going to stay chopping. So Noel plays good defense, but look at how Noel's feet have to move to keep up with first gear, then third gear, then fifth gear, then first gear. Look, here it goes. He's dribbling. Boom, boom. Gear change. That's really tough to guard. So now let's look at why this play ends up being really successful. All right, so let's look at the backside. This is Braylon. Anytime you set a back screen, there has to be communication. So Braylon sets a back screen. Of course, Galen's going to recognize it, so he's going to cut. Which means now Amon, who's guarding Braylon, now has to help and guard. If they don't talk, Jaden's still going to try to keep up with him. So both are running to Galen because of the back screen. Braylon lifts. He's wide open. Gets a shot. All right. So again, another play where there's ball movement and player movement. Playing who are you guarding right here? Like you're in the middle, right? You're not guarding anybody. All right, so I see Galen has, who is that, Brooklyn. All right, so the ball goes up. So I'm thinking you got Noel. He's the only one that's open. All right, so you don't guard him. You're just in the middle. You're here now. And look, all the while, this guy's open. It takes forever for Green to find him. All right, but we do get it to him. And now everybody's like, who got Noel? So you gotta like identify who you're guarding. You can't go a whole possession and not guard anybody. So this is one of the few screening rolls we had. It was a good one. All right, so here it comes. We got Amon can't see ball, so I think Isaac should cut, but nonetheless, we get the screen, and this is considered a 1/3 screen. So that means Ethan is setting it at the bottom of his body. He's gonna roll open. All right, Brooklyn has to guard ball. As soon as that happens, over the top. Now, as you guys see this happening, help side defenders, there's two people over here. There's Jaden who has who is this? Galen, I think. And then somebody's guarding Jackie. I think that's Noel. As this starts to happen, y'all got to see that and start rotating over. And y'all kind of stay next to y'all's man until the ball is released. So now your rotation's too late. And it's really the bottom man job. So Noel, you should have been there. All right, and they get a layup off of that. All right. Now, they didn't do it again. If they struggled, if it was that easy to score, I'd probably run a pick and roll again until they learn to stop it. Again, hey, don't make it hard and difficult. Like, make sure y'all can get behind the ball. Like, well, I guess since we consider free throw line half court, Noel's actually in the right spot. But we do make that pass difficult. But Brooklyn, this is what I mean. When we get here, you got to catch this. This got to be a clean, effortless catch for you, and you're struggling with those. So you got to really work on that. Green, as quickly as y'all make a good play happen and score, look how quickly a bad play happens on the other end. All right, so Isaac's way up here by himself. Again, Jaden and Noel are on the exact same side. I'm not sure if y'all in zone or man press, but y'all got to establish that and communicate. Hey, if it's going to be Brooklyn Noel back, then that's who needs to get back. All right, so as a result, Isaac high off the glass, lay in. So those 2 points got negated quick. Now, hey, here's another thing. Jaden, let's back it up. Jaden, as you catch this pass, all right, y'all are playing each other physical, right? We told them be very aggressive, and that's good. Y'all are getting each other better in that way. Everything don't have to be an attack, right? You're not getting trapped. It's okay to just go behind the back and retreat, but you're trying to do a wraparound and keep going downhill. And for what? What's down here? You know what I mean? Just save the possession. All right. So look, let's grow in that. All right, and this is a good Euro by Noel right there. Good stuff. Play kind of sums up like how Green played the game, right? Y'all still, even though you passed, y'all didn't play as a group, as a collective group. So look, we're in a domino set. So well, we got a two guard front, we got two guys in the corner, then we got Brooklyn on the block. And y'all stay in that formation the whole time. Nobody like Jaden doesn't cut, Brooklyn doesn't flash, Noel doesn't cut. So y'all just stay there. So y'all try to drive individually, then you try to drive individually, right? But y'all are still in that same set, all right? And then it's easy to block out and get rebounds. This is great because I always tell y'all sometimes score out of one hand because sometimes that's all you got. You don't if you gathered, then Jaden could slap it out your hand, but you kept it out in front. Let's run that back. This is good. You just kept it out in front and then scored. That was good. All right. So the possession comes right back down. This is what makes the play right here. They got it ahead quick and then immediately get an attack. So now Brooklyn has to help. So once you get two people guarding you, that now puts the team in the scramble. Jacob gets it. Two guys have to come to him. No communication. Swing. Immediate swing. And I'd have to think if Noel comes here, then he throws to Jackie. And if Jaden takes away Jackie, then we got a layup. But since Noel's not quite there quick enough, look, and Amon's working hard. Amon went and trapped the ball and contested it, but that's just too wide open at the end of the day because of the ball and player movement and the paint touch. All right. Now, Galen, as this trap is happening, you got to be more aggressive. So here comes a trap. Jaden has somebody needs to flash middle, right? Probably Brooklyn. And you got to guard there. But then here, Ethan is guarding nobody. Way back here on the backside. Ethan, you got to be on this side in the midline and make him throw it hard away from you. And Galen should take away the sideline pass. So, Galen, you got to take that away. And then y'all get a real trap. And you let him off the hook there. So, make sure you're more aggressive in trying to get those steals and where you place yourself. All right, and then they end the quarter with a turnover by Jackie. And they knock it in.